Hello everyone, this is Damini here, a super teacher from 7 classes. So this is the last video of a series as well as the last video of a chapter Heredity and Evolution. In last 3 videos of this chapter, we already have discussed about what do you mean by heredity, what are the laws of inheritance given by John Mendel, what do you mean by sex determination, what are the different type of variations, so and so forth. In this video, we will talk about evolution. अब इतनी वेरिएशन के बाद एक नया ही ऑर्गेनिज्म इवॉल्व हो जाता है. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट दैट. लेट मी शेयर माय स्क्रीन फर्स्ट. So speciation and evolution. What do you mean by speciation? Formation of new species from existing species. एक नया का नया species बन जाता है existing species से. We call it as speciation. The formation of a new species from existing species is mainly due to the one or the more of the following factors. बहुत सारे ऐसे factors होते हैं जो नया species evolve करने के लिए responsible होते हैं. That phenomenon is known as speciation, and let's talk about the factors. First factor is accumulation of variations, physical barriers, genetic drift, natural selection, and migration. Let's talk about each factor one by one. The first is accumulation of variation. We already have talked about variation. Variation is the difference between the individual of a same species. अब यही variation अगर होते होते एक नया ही species बना दे, that phenomenon is known as speciation. The accumulation of a variations over several generations produce a new species. Second is physical barrier. For example, there is a physical barrier in present between the species. कोई नया पहाड़ आ गया, कोई नदी आ गई, अब दोनों अलग अलग geographical area में चले गए, अपनी तरह से evolve करेंगे. For example, let me give you example for this. We have A, B, C, D, F, D, E, F. These are the species living in the same area. सब एक की तरह एक species है, only same kind of species, but after some time, after period of time and after few years, there is a formation of a mountain between them. Now the geographical area are different. They will evolve on the basis of environment condition present here. They will evolve on the basis of environmental condition present here. Now they will form a new species. They will form new species on the basis of environmental factor present here, and they become evolve. This formation of new species from pre-existing species on the basis of physical barrier is known as speciation. The next factor for this is genetic drift. Genetic drift is natural calamities, and some introduction of new members of the same species in an area can produce a changes in the gene pool of the population, and new variation are produced, which can produce new species. Let's talk about it how. For example, I have A, B, C. These are the species, all of them having the blue eye. But some person with a black eye of the same species come in the area. For example, this is the person D with a black eye. Now we will breed between them and produce a new organism with black or somehow light brown color eye. So new species will evolve after generation when I am introducing a new individual of the same species from different area. So this formation of new species from pre-existing species, because we are introducing a new member of a species from new member of a same species, that will result to speciation. Then we have natural selection. In last video, I already have given you the example of we call it peppered moth, right? We already have talked about it, like how nature select. In short, nature will select them who will adapt, right? Only those species of the species, only those individual of the species which have useful variations and can adapt to the changes in the environment survive, and other die. These organisms can produce variation and new species. So Natural selection will select the species which have adaptations according to the environment, and the previous species जिसमें adaptation नहीं हुआ वो vanish हो जाएगी. So the new species are evolving from the previous species. Speciation will take place due to the natural selection. The other factor of natural selection is, speciation is migration. I already have given the example in last video that migration, for example, bird is migrating. We have 3 birds. We have A, B, C, 3 birds, but D, for example, 4 birds, but 2 birds get migrated to the new place. Right now, these D and C will evolve according to the place where they live, and A, B remain same. So new species will evolve from the last species of that phenomenon is known as speciation due to the migration. So this is all about speciation, the formation of new species from pre-existing species. After speciation, we have evolution. Now these changes are going on. Generation after generation, year after year. After some period of time, the new organism will evolve from the last species. So this evolution of new organism is known as evolution. The gradual changes take place in a living organism, giving rise to new organism. Due to the changes in their genetic composition is called evolution. Charles Darwin. He is a father of evolution. He gave the idea of evolution of a species by natural selection. क्या होता है? Nature change हुआ, आपने अपने आप को adapt किया, नए characteristics आए, आप evolve हो गए, पीछे वाली species vanish. फिर nature change हुआ, आप इवॉल्व हो गए, पीछे वाली स्पीशीज वेनिश. तो नेचुरल सिलेक्शन जो होती है, नेचर जिसे सिलेक्ट करता है वही सर्वाइव करता है, बाकी सब वेनिश हो जाते हैं. दिस नेचुरल सिलेक्शन विल राइज टू द न्यू इवॉल्व्ड पर्सन. दैट प्रोसेस इज नोन एज एवोल्यूशन. What the Charles Darwin studied, he observed the finches on the Galapagos Island. Finches are the birds which evolve from the same species. एक कोई species थी जो सब सेम होते थे, right? But after the changing in their eating habit, they have changed their beak and they give rise to the different species. You can see the different in their beak, but all the finches are arising from the same ancestor. So the person Charles Darwin observed the difference in the beak on the basis of their different food habit. Evolve the beak of the finches, but they have evolved from the same ancestor. So nature will select them who will survive, right? After this, we have evidence for evolution. There are so many evidence for evolution. अभी हमने कहा तो दिया evolution है, but evidence क्या है evolution के लिए? Let's talk about that. There are number of common features in different organisms which provide evidence to show evolutionary relationship. The main evidence of evolution are from the study of these 3 factors: homologous organs, analogous organs and fossils. ये 3 evidence है evolution के. अब let's talk about these evidence one by one. First of all, let's talk about homologous organs. What are homologous organs? So homologous organs are the organs which have similar function but similar structure but different function. अब आप देखो, bat, whale, cheetah, man, सबके 4 limb में femur है, humerus है, रेडियस है, अल्ना है, इसमें भी रेडियस है, अल्ना है, ह्यूमरस है, रेडियस है, अल्ना है, ह्यूमरस है, रेडियस है, अल्ना, ह्यूमरस है. Structurally they are same, but they have different function. Bat use it for their 4 limb for flying, whale use it for swimming, cheetah use it for running, man use it for grasping, running, sitting, standing, so many things, right? So they have a different function, but structurally they all are same. This is an evolutionary or evolving evidence, right? That we are evolving from these kind of organisms. For example, let's take another example of this. For example, the 4 limb of amphibian, reptile, birds, mammals, कहाँ जाता है? हम Pisces से evolve हुए हैं. Pisces, amphibian, reptiles, birds, जिसे aves कहा जाता है, mammals, all are the class of so vertebrates, right, have similar structure but functions are different. Frog uses its forelimb for raise the front part of the body. Lizard use it for walking, running. Birds use it for flying. Mammals use it for grasping, walking, running, swimming, flying, etc. This shows evolutionary relationship. You can see all of them have a same structure. They have radius, ulna, humerus, but they are different. They use it for different functions. Then we have the different example of these. You can see here also. Pterodactyl, bird, bat, use it for flying. Dolphin, seals use it for swimming. Sheep and dog use it for running. What we call a screw and human use it for grasping. They have a different function, but structurally all of them are same. These kind of organs are known as homologous organs. The first evidence for evolution. The second evidence for evolution is analogous organs. Analogous organs are the opposite to the homologous organ. Analogous organs are organs which are different in structure but similar in function. अब आप देख सकते हो wing of bird, wing of bat, wing of butterfly. All of them have a same function of flying, but structurally, birds do not have this structure, like they do not have what we call it, humerus. They don't have radius, ulna, similar to that of bat. The insect will not have the distinguish between the bones, right? So yes, they have different structure but same function. जो birds में radius ulna होती है ना, वो किधर होती है? फोरलिंब में होती है, नीचे जाके पैरों में होती है उसके पंख में नहीं होती. बैट्स के पंखों में होती है. बटरफ्लाई की जो लिम्स होती है, जॉइंटेड लिम्स, वो अलग होती है. बटरफ्लाई के विंग्स अलग होते हैं, पर बैट का जो फोर लिम्ब है वही उसका रिस्पॉन्सिबल होता है फ्लाइंग के लिए. सो या, दे हैव अ डिफरेंट स्ट्रक्चर बट सेम फंक्शन. They are known as analogous organ. This is another example. Then we have the last thing, fossil. This is the third what we call it, evidence of evolution. Fossils. Fossils are the remains of the organism which lived a long ago. From the study of a fossil, we can know their structures in the time of a period which they lived. For example, nowadays we use cell phones, we use laptop, television, we have so many things, earphones, wireless earphones. But after million and trillion years from now, after million and trillion years from now, the people will evolve. नए के नए people बन जाएंगे, right? They have so many other technologies. अगर उन्हें जमीन के अंदर एक फोन मिल जाए, एक कोई डब्बा सा फोन मिल जाए, वो अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं कि people यहाँ पे बहुत पहले रहते थे जो ये फोन यूज करते थे. That phone become fossil for them. आज के जमाने में हमें हड्डियां मिलती है, हमें डायनासोर्स के रिमेन्स मिलते हैं, हमें कोई प्रिंट मिलता है, ठीक है. we call them as a fossil. हम बता सकते हैं उस जमाने में जो लोग रहते थे उनका ये साइज था, ये वो खाते थे, यहाँ वो रहते थे, so and so forth, right? So the fossils of the complex and the recent organism are found closer to the surface of the earth, and the fossil of the simpler organism are found deeper inside the earth. The age of the fossil can be determined by the radiocarbon dating. The study of a fossil show the evolution of the simpler form into the complex form and their evolutionary relationship. So ये इन्होंने क्या कहा? Let's talk about it in next slide. So these are the fossils, right? This is how the fossil form layer after layer. For example, there are some fishes. Let us start from the 100 million year. Some invertebrates of the seabed die. यहाँ पे कोई invertebrate die हुआ seabed में, वो जमीन पे ऊपर से उसमें सॉइल लग गई और वो जमीन के नीचे. फिर डायनासोर्स आए, डायनासोर मर गए, फिर दूसरी लेयर बनी, ठीक है. फिर तीसरी लेयर में हॉर्स आया, हॉर्स मर गए, फिर आपकी तीसरी लेयर बनी. फिर लास्ट में ये प्लांट्स है, हम है. अगर हम भी कल को नहीं रहे तो हमारा भी फॉसिल होगा, फिर कोई नया ऑर्गेनिज्म आएगा, फिर फॉसिल होगा. तो द फॉसिल फॉर्म लेयर्स. जितना डीपर फॉसिल होगा वो उतना पुराना होगा. ओके. So evolution by stage. अब evolution by stage क्या होता है? Complex organism and its organs develop from the simpler organism. Fishes बहुत simple थी, लेकिन हम बहुत complex है. We are evolving from the Pisces. Okay. So evolution of the eye. The eye of a planaria. Planaria is a flat worm invertebrate are just a eye spot. जिसमें पहली बार आईज आई थी, राइट? वो सिर्फ एक आई स्पॉट था, उसमें कोई ऑप्टिक नर्व्स नहीं थी, कोई कॉर्निया नहीं था, कुछ नहीं था, टू डिटेक्ट द लाइट, जो लाइट डिटेक्ट करता था. ओके, इट डेवलप्ड ग्रेजुअली इनटू कॉम्प्लेक्स ऑर्गन इन हायर एनिमल्स. अब कॉम्प्लेक्स ऑर्गन जो हायर एनिमल्स है उसमें आप देखोगे लाइक us, we have a proper eye, can detect colors, can detect light, can see, can identify, right? So the evolution is basically from simpler to complex. Evolution of feather. Feather were first developed in dinosaurs and used for protection from cold. Cold के लिए protection के लिए थे. Later birds use it for flying. So simpler to complex. Evolution by the artificial selection. Human cultivate a wild cabbage for over 2000 years and produce a different vegetable from it by artificial selection. सिर्फ हमने क्या उगाया था पहले? cultivation of cabbage. अभी देखो, cabbage by selecting a short distance between the leaves become cauliflower. By selecting sterile flower become kale. By selecting large leaves become kohlrabi. By selecting the swollen stem become broccoli. Broccoli ने क्या किया? By arresting flower growth. So these are the evolution of a cabbage to broccoli on the basis of artificial selection. We are selecting them and we are making them to cross. So this is known as evolution by stage. After this, we have human evolution. Today, the human is a species of Homo sapien. Human evolution, there are great diversity among human beings in their form and features around the world. Human being evolved in Africa. First time they evolved in Africa. Some of them changed the geographical area and due to the condition, different condition in geographical area, they evolved. Africa में कहा जाता है पहला ह्यूमन था. उसके बाद पूरे अर्थ में फैलने के बाद geographical pressurization के बाद नया organism और नया species evolve हुआ है ह्यूमन का. So then due to the genetic variation and the environmental changes in different geographical region, they develop changing into form of feature. Now we have a Homo sapien as a new man, a modern man. So let's see the evolution of a man. कहा जाता है the first man was a chimpanzee. We have the closest ancestor in the form of chimpanzee, that the name was Lucy. Nearly all experts agree that Lucy was just a 3-foot tall chimpanzee. Then the Lucy evolved into Heldberg man, built from the jawbone that was conceived by the many to be quite human. Right? Then they evolved to the Nebraska man, scientifically built up from one tooth, later found to be the tooth of the extinct pig. Then they evolved into Piltdown man. The jawbone turned out to belong to the modern ape. अभी जॉ बोन सारा देखो, जॉ टीथ इसी में डिफरेंस हो रहा है, राइट? मतलब फेशियल फीचर्स ही चेंज हो रहे हैं और आपका मस्कुलर हाइट सब रिडक्शन इन द हेयर, taking a new instrument, using their brain, evolving in the brain, so many things are happening. Then Peldron के बाद आया Perking man, supposedly 5 lakh years old, but all evidence has disappeared. Now we don't have evidence for Perking man, और उससे पहले का तो पहले कोई evidence नहीं होगा. Then after Perking man, there is a formation of Neanderthal man. Neanderthal man at the we can say the Congress of Zoology 1958, Dr. A.J.C. Cave said his examination showed that this famous skeleton found in the France over 50 years ago is that of the old man who suffered from arthritis. Okay, then after we have a New Guinea man, dates way back to 1970. This species have been found in the region just north of the Australia. Then we go to the Cro-Magnon man, one of the Cro-Magnon man, one of the earliest and the best established fossil, is at least equal to the physique and brain capability to the modern man. So what's the difference? Difference must be the thinking process, must be the height, because modern man have very short height as compared to their ancestors. Then we evolved to the modern man, Homo sapiens. This genus thinks we came from a monkey. Professing themselves to be a wise, they become fools. Okay, just apart from all these things, we have evolved from the Lucy, which was a chimpanzee. This is just a theoretical concept. After the formation of fossil, after the finding of fossil, we get to know that we also have evolved from somewhere. We have evolved the brain, the new things, the knowledge, and so many things, right? So yeah, let me give you the brief, what we call it, the summary of video. Evolution, what do you mean by evolution? Evolution is a formation of new species after gradual changes take place year after year. There are evidence for evolution. Homologous organ are the organ which have same structure but different function. Then analogous organ which have different structure but same function. Then we have fossils. Fossils are the remainings and the prints of the organism which were living long ago, right? So this is the end of the series as well as end of the chapter. I hope this series is helpful for you. Let's meet in next series and the next video after some time. Till then, good luck for your exam. Bye bye and have a nice day.